Well, the failure to perceive racial and gender oppressions within the context of class power oppression leads to what I've called in one of my books somewhere along, I called it the competition of oppressions. I mean, I have sat in at meetings, I remember one in Washington, D.C., where people have gotten up, an African-American guy got up and he said to this white woman, he said, you may be a woman, but you're white. And she gets up and she said, yeah, you may be black, but you're a man. And then a third woman got up and says, yeah, you may be black and you may be a woman, but I'm a lesbian, and I'd like to see which of us gets turned down for a job. If I told the boss that I was a lesbian, I would have more. In other words, I'm more oppressed than you are. No, I'm more oppressed than you are. And that comes out of this idea, this feeling that, after all, I feel the urgency of my oppression more than I feel the urgency of yours, but also if you can understand how more oppressed I am, then maybe you'd be doing more for this oppression. And in fact, I think in some situations, some oppressed groups are more oppressed than other groups. It depends on what particular thing you're looking at. Let me just end with a little story. I remember at the founding convention of the Committees of Correspondence, that convention took place in 1992 in Berkeley, California, where I live, just about a 15-minute walk from me up on the campus. So I went over and I attended the convention, and they were lining up. I never joined, but they were setting down their statement of goals and intentions, and a guy got up from the floor, had a microphone on the floor, and he says, you have nothing in there about the rights of gays. And they said, oh yes, let's put something in there, rights of gays. And a woman got up and she said, you have nothing in there, it should be gays and lesbians. He said, right, I said, gays and lesbians. A guy gets up and he says, now, transgender and transsexual hadn't yet quite come into vogue. That was a couple of years down the line. But he says, it should be gays, lesbians, and bisexuals. Because we bisexuals get discrimination from both communities sometimes. They say, oh, yes, they put gays, lesbians, bisexuals. And I was sitting there, and behind me was this old lefty trade union type of a guy, and he said, just loud enough for everybody to hear, he said, yeah, and how about putting something in there for the people who are too tired to have sex when they get home from work? And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's who I speak for, the people who are too tired to have sex when they get home from work, which by the way includes any number of gays, lesbians, bisexuals, African Americans, Asian Americans, Latinos, everybody else, in this very exploitative, oppressive society that we must continue to resist and rectify. Thank you very much.